Hello, I'm going to tell you about a test that is administered to a student to see if the student qualifies for special education programs. It's called the Woodcock-Johnson-III test. It was published in 1977, revised in 1989, again in 2001, and the most recent revision, the Woodcock-Johnson-IV, published in 2014 by the Riverside Publishing Company. The authors were Richard W. Woodcock and Mary E. Bonner Johnson, and the authors in 2001 were Richard W. Woodcock, Kevin S. McGrew, and Nancy Mather. Purpose of the test, according to the publishing company, quote, that it is a comprehensive, individually administered cognitive assessment that identifies strengths and weaknesses in cognitive abilities, processes, and academic performance to assist professionals in the diagnosis of learning disabilities or non-cognitive factors. The results are used in part to assist with the diagnosis of a student's eligibility for special education placement. It can even be used for intervention decisions. These test results, along with psychoeducational tests done by the school psychologist, are administered for triennial evaluation meetings, that's IEP meetings, every 3 years for the special education students, as well as for the initial IEP eligibility determination to see if the student qualifies for special education. The development of the test, per the publisher, is to be a highly accurate and a valid diagnostic tool because of the two batteries, the standard and the extended, were co-normed, meaning that the normative data are based on a single sample. When tests are co-normed, examiners can discover learning differences with few errors. According to the publisher, the original sample was selected to represent, within practical limits, the United States population from ages 24 months to 90+ years. Normative data for the test were gathered from 8,818 subjects in over 100 geographically diverse communities in the United States. The sample consists of 1,143 preschoolers, 4,784 kindergarten to 12th graders, 1,165 college students, and 1,843 adults. The assessment tool has 22 tests measuring 5 curriculum areas: reading, math, written language, oral language, and academic knowledge. These 22 tests are administered from the beginning of the tests in the first book all the way through tests 1 through 12 in that book to the end of the second book, the extended 13 through 22. The books are hard-covered, ring-type binders with an A stand-up format. They're designed this way so that the student can look at one side and the administrator looks at the other. Administration procedures start with getting all your materials together. Get the 2 hardcover books, your 2 test record booklets used for both. You use both of these for one student, and some materials that you will need that aren't included would be some scratch paper and a pencil. You also need a timer or a stopwatch. You also get an examiner's manual, which can be used before or after the test for any explanations of the test, or you can use it for evaluation decisions and scoring. You also receive a computerized program called CompuScore and Profiles, and it eliminates scoring the test by hand and the possibility of making any clerical errors. There were taped audio recordings used for the few of these subtests. However, we don't use these tapes any longer. We just read the blue portions of the test that's in the big bold letters. The assessment tool does have some strengths and weaknesses. The tests are very easy to give. The testing time isn't too long on each subtest. I'm able to get information that tells me about the student that they need help on. The scoring of the test is not hard to do. Usually the answer is 1 or 0. The weakness of this older version is that some of the pictures aren't relevant by today's standards, like the ironing board and the coin telephone, and there's this 1950s drive-in movie theater. The district also has the new version, the WCJ-IV. At the beginning of the test, on the first page of the standard and the extended books, there is a suggesting starting point here. Okay, and it's a guide to use to determine where the test begins. At the top of the test booklet, there is a basal and a ceiling, and it also uses the reversal rule So when the student reaches their ceiling, then you stop the test. Or the basal, that's where you begin. If they miss 3 or 4 in a row in the subtest, then you would go in the reverse order until they got 3 in a row correct, and so on. Now we're ready to test the student. So you begin by establishing a rapport with your student, and then you use both test booklets. Have them write their full name on each book, and I would write the other information later on. There's also a white area that I use right here to write any field notes that may come up during the test or anything that I see that might be important. Okay, now we're going to start the test. Hi, Carlos. You ready to start your 3-year triennial test? Oh, you know we do this every couple years. Just relax, okay? I'm going to ask you to answer some questions and to solve some problems. Some questions and problems will seem very easy, while others will seem hard. Please do your best. Okay, we're going to start today with test number 1. First, read the words silently and then say the words smoothly. Okay, this is the letter P. Find the P down there. Very good. Okay, this point to the E. Okay, here are some letters. I want you to point to the letter I say. Point to the B. Point to the C. Okay, very good. Well, you won't need the pencil and scratch paper yet, but you will need it next because we're going to do some math. Are you liking math? Oh, come on. It's great, and you're going to do fine. I want you to make some numbers. Okay, and you're going to do that right here in this test booklet. Okay, right here. Would you write a 1 in this box? Okay, would you make the number 3 in this box? Okay, that's the samples. I want you to do some math. Begin with number 1 and answer as many problems as you can. If you come to one that you don't know how to do, just skip it and try the next one, okay? Okay, thank you, Carlos. I'll take that. Now we're going to do some spelling. Oh, you like spelling. Come on. Don't give me that. Okay, we're going to use this part of the booklet. Watch me. Now you do it right here. Watch me. Okay, now you scribble like I did right here. Okay, now watch me. Draw a line just like I did and stay on the road. I have just done a demonstration of the Woodcock-Johnson 3 test. I've just done a sampling. Thank you.